Welcome back to CruiseAway here on Gecko, and welcome to one of our 3 daily doses of holiday inspiration. We're here with you every day now at 10 a.m. in the morning, plus 1 and 4 in the afternoon. Now, in this show, we're taking you on 2 epic Pacific adventures, Jo.
Yes, we are, and we're talking all about one of my favourite cruise lines of all time, Holland America Line. Now, they offer a more classic style of cruising where service and surroundings are the key ingredients of a cruise which is rich in relaxation, fulfillment and education too. All topped off with the most incredibly welcoming crew on board. Now later we're taking in the Coral Triangle, sailing past incredible volcanoes and lapping up our very own barrier reef on a 30-night cruise and stay package for January of next year.
We are indeed, and it looks incredible. Talking of which, our first offer is one to get in the diary today for September. 63 dreamy nights of holiday. Hang on a minute. 63 nights of dreamy holiday. I think I'm halfway there already. Now, this is going to be incredible. We are circling the Pacific from Canada and reaching the far-flung corners of it too. So let's get started with a flight from Sydney over to Vancouver in Canada, and we'll settle into this holiday with a relaxing 2-night stay in the city.
Yes.
Such a popular city, Jo, as well, isn't it?
It is, and many call it sort of the Sydney of Canada. I mean, there is a Sydney in Canada as well, but there's a lot of good similarities, but a lot of differences too from our very own Sydney. You've got the harbour right there, the beautiful mountains, great shopping, welcoming people. There's a real indoor-outdoor vibe in Canada too, we're in September, which is just touching into the autumn season, and honestly, it's just a beautiful time to visit. Then it's time to hop on board the Zaandam, which is a ship I'm very familiar with. 56 nights on board. I've cruised up to Alaska on the Zaandam. She's lovely. She is just an in-between size of Holland America Line ship. She's not one of the itty-bitty ones. She's not one of the, Vista class. So she's just perfect size for this length of voyage, because you'll get to really know everybody on board, from the staff and crew through to, of course, your fellow passengers. You meet people from all over the world, and that's the great thing about cruising. And I think this will definitely be a voyage that tempts maybe some seasoned cruisers and you're wanting to go a little bit further afield. So there's lots of nice enrichment activities, which we touched on before, when you're on Holland America Line. They're all about bringing guest speakers on board, getting you immersed in the cultural aspects of the places you're visiting, not just the destinations. And then there's their test kitchen as well, which allows you to really enjoy the culinary arts scene on board, from the head chef through to the party planners talking you through dishes. You can literally be learning a new dish every day, which I really like, because maybe you're not a huge cooker at home. Maybe you are, but it's something interesting to do on board the cruise.
Well, always nice to pick up a new tip or trick from the experts who are doing it as a living on a daily basis. I mean, it's really, really exciting, and not something you necessarily expect as part of your holiday either.
So true.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's so true.
And actually, that's one of those things that makes it more of a pleasure, I think, actually, is you get on board one of these ships and you think, oh, actually, tomorrow there is a culinary lesson.
Yeah.
I can pick up a new dish. I want to do this. You go into it with the right frame of mind. You come away from it with a new skill, a new dish. Some new tricks and tips for when you're back home.
Imagine how many books you can sit back and relax and read when you're on this
true. Yeah.
voyage too. If you are an avid reader, they have a great library, a travel library on board. The food on Holland America Line is next level. It's honestly, it's superb. And I spent near enough a decade working on and off these ships. I absolutely love everything about this brand. It's truly one of my favourite at sea. The music is also a firm feature on board. They have Lincoln Center Stage, BB King's Blues. They have the signature show band on board. Now, we're cruising out of Vancouver, and our first port we're heading into after a couple of days at sea is fabulous San Francisco. For the iconic Golden Gate Bridge National Park. You got to head there and take some of those spectacular views in. And Alcatraz, take a trip to Alcatraz. It is mind-blowing, very cool. Then it's San San Diego, sleepy Southern California, absolutely beautiful, known for their world famous zoo and their delectable wines. So if you can take a wine tour, I'd highly recommend that. SeaWorld there as well, and a harbour cruise is a nice thing to do. Now Willy Willy next in Kauai. This is known as the Garden Island, and the terrain really does range from volcanic slopes up in Mount Walele to the desert-like beauty of the canyon down below. It's lush, it's rich, and then we're on to Kona next. Kona, Big Island as it's also known, has a gorgeous varied coast as well. I love the individual signature of each Hawaiian island. They all have their very own personal stamp and are quite different. Then it's Honolulu, the one we probably know the most about. You've got Waikiki Beach right there. You can take a nice little catamaran tour. You've got the world famous Hanauma Bay for snorkeling, Diamond Head Crater and hike, and Pearl Harbor. Then we're on to Maui, beautiful Maui, known for its lush volcanic beauty, but at the same time, great shopping. You also have a wonderful ocean centre there to visit, and the Lau Valley State Park, a firm favourite amidst US travellers, this one. Hilo's up next. The variety of islands on this itinerary is brilliant in the Hawaiian Islands. So a helicopter safari will really allow you to get an overview. So speak to your team on board about booking that once-in-a-lifetime excursion. Then we are on somewhere really unique, Kiribati, basically, which is a little island nation all the way out in the Pacific. It's a natural paradise where you can meet the local islanders and snorkel in the unspoilt reef. Pago Pago is up next in American Samoa, and it's the capital of American Samoa, actually. And it's more of a village than a city. You've got the beautiful Mount Pioa, with a gorgeous summit drawing moisture-bearing clouds and the natural terrain around. Apia's next, and this will allow you to see some incredible cultural history, as it's where the first Polynesians arrived around 1000 BC. So you can actually see some of the remnants of this amazing culture. An overnight in Suva in Fiji, brilliant. 333 islands here, basically in the Fiji municipality, province. They provide an exciting adventure, for you to enjoy. Loads of excursions on offer, and they have nighttime excursions as well, which will enable you to see the town at night. Lakuta's up next. And I mean, just look at this. We're truly in natural paradise here. Whether it be exploring the mangroves or snorkeling the ocean, these islands are the definition of paradise. Dravuni Island. This is very interesting because it's less than 2 miles in length from north to south. And again, these are all very volcanic islands. The coral reef is second to none, and it boasts amazing marine life. Next up, it's Savu. And this is a great place to see the forests, the mangroves I mentioned before, and you'll see a lot of unique species. So maybe take an eco tour with your team so they can talk you through some of these points. Really interesting. We're into Tonga next, which comprises 170 islands. The last monarchy in Polynesia was based here as well. The name of the island actually means sacred garden, and it's the largest island in the realm. Then we're on to Vava'u, which is located in Oceania. Now, this is a small archipelago in the South Pacific, south of Samoa. And basically, you've got, again, these are all about exploring the natural beauty. You might want to swim with whales. We're into the Cook Islands on our next destination. And this is a little archipelago in the South Pacific. So you've got 2/3 of the way from Hawaii to New Zealand here, just to give you a little bit of sort of acclimatization. But I tell you what, next up, it's Cook Islands, another destination there. Take a glass bottom boat tour when you're out there, or glass bottom kayak, because this is another unique way of enjoying the reef without maybe snorkeling or diving. If you are a diver though, wow, these places are undeniably beautiful. Raiatea, they call this God's cradle, and this is the place to go to see the most extensive amounts of Polynesian civilization. The Marae Tapatapi Taya is the one thing to visit there. Moorea, French Polynesia is up next, and this is where you'll enjoy an overnight. So it will be allowing you time to kick back and relax, whether you want to just be horizontal on the beach or actually going to a cultural village. And you can do tours with the team. They can hook you up with that. Maybe a voyage in a traditional outrigger canoe. That's a fun thing to do as well. But you've got an extra bit of time there. We are into another fabulous destination in French Polynesia next, where you can actually see how they make traditional liquor. They have a great distillery there and a pearl farm. So maybe pick up some treasures to take home. Tahiti's up next. Not just an island. It's always been, many say, a state of mind. You know, when you picture paradise, this is pretty much what you think about. You've got the Point Venus there, and I'd highly recommend that to take some gorgeous views. Then we are on to Nukuhiva. Great archaeological site there to visit as well. I mean, I'd just be literally in awe of these amazing, historical sites to see in these ports of call. We have a couple of days at sea, which sees us into fabulous San Diego, where we'll disembark and have a couple of nights in a hotel to finish up our trip, which is brilliant. So you're not going home just yet. Sleepy, gorgeous San Diego has a lot to offer, from those iconic wineries to the naval ships right there in the base, because it's known as a world-famous naval base. And also lovely dining and shopping options, because we are in that sleepy Southern California state of mind. I love it. This itinerary is unbelievable. I've never seen an itinerary like this before, taking in French Polynesia in quite that way.
Ditto.
All about relaxing, this one, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my word, incredible. I was just thinking, those final days before you get into San Diego, you've got 6 days at sea, and actually you need all of those to really drink in just a small fraction of what you've experienced, just to go back through your phone, your camera, and make notes of all the things and all the places. A lot of those places, actually, there's a fair few ports on this itinerary that in around about 15 years of talking you through itineraries on television, I have never seen. Seen the regions, haven't necessarily seen that island or that port. So there's some places here that even the most seasoned of cruisers who've taken potentially hundreds of cruises right now watching this, there are places on this itinerary you would never have been to before. Fascinating, absolutely fascinating. Honestly, I was hanging on every word of each one of those places there and thinking, wow, this is something that is very, very different as a big adventure. Now, you can put a lower deposit down to secure this right now, but I want to tell you the price of the whole trip, which is incredible. It is, and there's so much included here as well, by the way. Your offering on board with Holland America Line is incredible. For that to come in, I mean, this feels like even more boutique than a world cruise experience, I think, because this is so different and varied an itinerary. I think that price tag is absolutely spot on. Remember, this is a 5-star cruise line as well, with that wonderful home from home feel. And you have got sea days punctuating those destinations as well, by the way. So it's not just one port, day after day after day after day. That would be too much. Actually, this is incredible, and it's beautifully paced as well. Let's have a look at details in terms of upgrading as well, if you want to go up to an ocean view or up to a suite. I think both of us, Jo, are a bit bowled over by that, aren't we? I mean,
yeah, I can't believe the amount of paradise on one trip. That's what I'm thinking.
That was a lot of homework for you for that itinerary, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think the nice thing is you don't have too much to focus on. We know this is the cradle of the ancient civilization, but at the same time, we know it's beautiful for its snorkeling, its marine life. So you're not like, I've got to do 9 million different excursions. You're like, you know what? I'm just going to drink in the local culture, meet some locals, maybe go and have they do this experience where you can go to local people's homes and they cook for you, which will be so nice. You'll get to ingratiate yourself with the culture, I think, much more than most itineraries.
And I think just to have been in one of those destinations is something really special as well, don't you think? 1300 411 968 if you want to talk to our team about that. And of course, remember, you can tailor our packages as well. So where we have stays on either end, of course, if you want to add more nights in any of those places, you certainly can. I'm just thinking of your travel journal when you get back from an adventure like that. It is going to be fascinating. And actually, remember, along the way, are on an itinerary like that, where it's places that you may not be familiar with, in advance, you don't have to have done your homework and done all of the guides and everything else, because there's lots of information about the ports that are coming up on board for you, so you can enjoy presentations in your stateroom, or actually face-to-face presentations on some of the places that you're actually visiting as well. Now listen, here at CruiseAway, we have been sending people away for a long time, in fact over 2.5 decades, and it's why so many people book with us.
With over 25 years of travel experience, when booking with CruiseAway, you're dealing with the cruise specialists. We can tailor-make the perfect holiday for you, adding hotel stays and exciting land tours so you can fully immerse yourself in the destinations you're visiting. We allow you to spread the cost of your holiday. Just pay a deposit today, and then you have until the due date to pay your balance. You can browse our deals online at cruiseaway.com.au or call us toll-free and speak to one of our experienced cruise consultants based right here in Australia. Plus, as a fully accredited member of CLIA, AFTA and ATAS, you have total confidence and complete peace of mind when booking with us. CruiseAway, you know you want to.
We also like a challenge as well, by the way, because our team are incredible. And remember, we don't just book cruises, as you've just seen. We do cruise and stay. And sometimes it's cruise and stay and tour. So if you fancy going to the far-flung corners of the world, then we will find you the offer. I'm just thinking about some of our most popular tours around the world. I'm thinking Golden Triangle of India, for instance, is a really special adventure, an escorted tour adventure that we can send you on from us here at CruiseAway. We have places like Alaska as well, where we can take not just Alaskan cruises, but we can also take a Rocky Mountains train adventure and see it eye to eye with the scenery. Japan is one of the big world hotspots right now.
Keep watching as well on YouTube, because we have and of course if you're watching with us live as well on air on Gecko, we have lots of great offerings for you for Japan. It is the hotspot destination extraordinaire of the moment. Everybody is booking holidays to Japan. I mean, it's just the place to go.
If you want to see the snow monkeys, if you want to take the bullet trains, if you want to see Mount Fuji, if you want to be in Japan in the famous sakura season, the cherry blossom season, we can make it all happen for you as well. Anyway, there's just a few sparks of inspiration. What would you like to see? We do like a challenge, as we said, so drop in any ideas via email to us. We always love to hear from you, and we'll pass those on to the team. It's studio@cruiseaway.com.au. And you can email us anytime you like. And make sure you come and join us 3 times a day, remember, here on Gecko, 10 in the morning and then 1 and 4 in the afternoon. Now, our first adventure was so big that we felt we needed a little breather before we went into offer number 2, because this is something, again, spectacular, very different, but ultimately spectacular. A real journey.
Yeah, absolutely. And a little bit closer to home as well. This is going to be Coral Triangle, volcanoes and the Great Barrier Reef. It's 30 nights. And you're going to be leaving the 4th of January next year, where you'll fly from Sydney to Singapore and spend one fabulous night in a centrally located hotel to take in this spectacular city. And it's a great way to kick off 2025. So we are booking a little bit into the future, but I think, you know, it's so true.
Oh, it's only a year away now, isn't it?
Well, only a year away. Booking early is booking smart. Was recently pricing up some cruises, ironically, with my friend. We just thought, let's look to see for New Year. Well, obviously, it's just around the corner. So you book in advance and you're going to be getting great deals, okay? So the Noordam is the name of the beautiful vessel we're going to be cruising on. She's Vista class, Holland America Line. Beautiful ship and full of lots of great things to do whilst you're on board, of course. Now, it's the nice thing about Holland America Line, it's much more of kind of pared down luxury. So the ships are very traditional. They are, you've got the lovely wooden beams, the kind of the low-key lighting, so it doesn't feel overbearing when you're walking around with like bright fluorescent lights. You've got the lovely, like I said, the polished wood, the striped deck chairs. you know, all of the naval officers and staff aboard are wearing the traditional blues. A lot of the time you see the whites on board, and they're mainly in the blues, the naval blues. So it does really feel like you're just on a kind of a large traditional ship, more than a cruise ship.
Which I love, actually, because, you know, they say that everything changes and nothing, they don't do it like they used to. And actually, Holland America very much do. The decor, the standards, the boutique, the offering, that changes with the times, but you've still got that touch of good old classic cruising.
Yes.
And that's a lovely thing. That's a nice comforting thing. Because if that's a holiday that you really enjoy, you know, you're not all about, you know, water slides and activity type things.
Oh, you won't find a water slide on board Holland America Line, but that's for good reason, because there's so many other things to do.
Yeah.
And let's touch on the Neptune Lounge as well. So if you do book a suite on board your voyage, you have a specific lounge called the Neptune Lounge, which is tailored to your own needs. You have a concierge up there. They always have, you know, you go and get your morning coffee up there. They've got the coffee machine. They've got all of the hors d'oeuvres. You know, all of these things are a nice way of making your trip even easier to manage. And the suites are superb. Just giving you some food for thought out there. Now, Exploration Central, this is your immersive onboard programming. They also do full lectures on the ports of call with all your options for shore excursion booking. So it invites you into that world and allows you to make easy choices when it comes to each port of call. So you can kind of line up your excursions in advance, as obviously these people have years of experience and can give you the lowdown even before you get there. So we're cruising out of Singapore. 2 days at sea will see us into beautiful Puerto Princesa in the Philippines, which is a world of natural wonder. You have this incredible subterranean river that goes underneath the vicinity, and it's definitely imperative to take a tour of that. I've heard amazing things. Then we're on to Bitung in Indonesia, home to a plethora of natural wonders, from bubbling sulfur lakes to volcanoes. So again, natural geothermal activity in these islands. You've got the Congo National Reserve there as well, which is very pretty. Then we're on to Jayapura, which is in Papua New Guinea. Now, this is on the northern coast of New Guinea Island. There's 18,000 islands, actually. Crazy, right? So some tours here to do include the Love Lake, the City Hill, and the museum there is a wonderful. Rabaul's up next, and this harbour is one of the most impressive in the entire Pacific Basin. And again, the geothermal wonders of these places to visit are going to be what you want to take your excursions to see. Speak to the Shore Excursions team, Explorations. Then we're on to Kiruina, where you can go see a traditional local village. And they'll actually, again, you go and they do a traditional like barbecue, you might get some barbecued fish, meet the locals. It's enthralling, honestly. It's so interesting. I've done it before. Conflict Island, where you can go and see baby turtles. I know there's a turtle interaction too. I mean, these beautiful creatures are amazing. I encourage you to go and learn about them on a tour. You won't regret it. It's brilliant. Reef snorkeling there too, of course. Cairns is up next, a bit closer to home now, where you have the 3 Aussie natural wonders, of course. The Great Barrier Reef, you've got the superb Marlin Coast, and then, of course, you have the Daintree National Park. So they're all at your doorstep there. Then we have 2 days cruising, of course, the Great Barrier Reef, the world's largest coral reef system, comprised of over 2,900 individual reefs, 900 islands stretching for over 2,300 kilometres, over an area of 344,000 square kilometres. It's beautiful, and the amount of Australians that haven't seen the reef yet, it's quite overwhelming. This is your time to see this beautiful natural wonder. Perhaps take a helicopter tour over there. Then we're on into Darwin and Top End, the Territory Wildlife Park. They also have the Aviation Heritage Centre, which is really interesting. And of course, Kakadu is at your fingertips there as well. Book an excursion. We're on to Dili then in East Timor. And this is rich in cultural history and attractions. It's famous for its dive sites, by the way. So if you love to dive, or even just snorkel, or even just paddle, you're going to see beautiful tropical fish at your ankles. Komodo next. This is very unique, this island, because it's basically home to the rugged habitat of the 3-meter-long Komodo dragon monitor lizard. And they live in this natural nature reserve on the island, which you can go and visit. Very cool. Jakarta, Indonesia beckons us next. Of course, this is the capital of Indonesia. There's a lot of history and culture that makes up this melting pot of different influences in Jakarta. So I advise you to go and look around the downtown and really drink in the flavors of this port. Now we're back into Singapore, where we included your transfer from the port back to the airport, of course, where we will include your flight back to Sydney. So it's all included, edge to edge, on this enthralling itinerary, which takes us, of course, through, you're close to home, through Oz, but we're also visiting Indonesia. We're also visiting some brilliant Pacific ports, and of course Komodo Island, and so much more.
It's amazing, and there are amazing days of scenic cruising on that as well. So as the name suggests in the title there, you will be cruising past not just the Great Barrier Reef, but the Ribbon Reef as well, up to the top end, and past some incredible volcanoes as well. You are going to love it. Right, okay. Now, because this is the start of next year, so we're pretty much a year away right now, a deposit today of just $2,300 will secure the price tag that we have for you. It is an epic journey, let me tell you, and I think we will all love every single day and night of it. And that price tag is incredible. You think about the service, the level of cuisine on board, the amount of enrichment that's on board the ship as well. And then you look at that price tag and where you are going and just how much relaxing you are doing. And you are pretty much wiping out the whole of January at home. You're going to be away on this amazing adventure. It is incredible. Here's your price tag if you want to upgrade in terms of your stateroom as well, ocean view, balcony, and suite prices there as well. And with suites as well, not just the accommodation perks, but actually other perks around the ship as well, as you mentioned, Joe. Your exclusive Neptune lounge, a differential in service, of course, there for you as well, which is very, very nice indeed. You are going to have one incredible holiday here as well. And if you want to look at it all on a map, so you know exactly where you're going, just go to our website, cruiseaway.com.au, pop in that cruise ID, the number there on the top left of the screen, and you'll get the full interactive map with more details on all of those places you are going to visit. I love the fact that on this itinerary, 2 days are cruising the reef itself, and so much more. So lots of scenic cruising here as well, which is amazing. 1300 411 968 is our toll-free telephone number. Wow, I mean, we really did need that pause in the middle there because again, the contrast between those two adventures, they're quite hefty, aren't they?
Absolutely. You have some real food for thought here when it comes to booking your next incredible cruise adventure. And of course, we are here for you. We have our daily shows on Gecko. We have, of course, the website to explore, and there's just so much there as well. And there's going to be itinerary. I mean, you might end up booking your next 2 or maybe even 3 cruises ahead of time, because this is where you can save some serious money. I mean, really, really save.
That's a very good point, actually, because lots of people, now we are here in 2024, lots and lots of people are now booking well into next year, and even halfway into 2026. People are booking offers. There are low deposits right now. There's travel now, pay later available for you as well, which is brilliant to spread the cost and budget for these holidays. But you really can make those plans today. It's as simple as that. Listen, all of our shows are on demand as well on our YouTube channel. Just go onto YouTube and search CruiseAway Australia. You'll find us there. And don't forget, 3 times a day here on Gecko, 10 in the morning, 1 and 4 in the afternoon. That's when you need to make a date to come and join us again for more CruiseAway. For now, though, see you later.
See you later.